Hey, welcome back to the Spook House. Got my boy Doug back again. Gonna
We
talk
are
about
here.
the gotta talk about the black phone. Uh, we're gonna try to cover everything, but we're on a bit of a time constraint. Doug has a emergency meeting, dinner meeting with his dad tonight.
Just blame me right out of the gate.
Oh, what are you
Yeah,
guys making?
Doug is a piece of shit today and can't spend 2 hours talking about the black phone and screaming at me because you know that's what's going to happen.
Hey,
You're going to
no!
witness a battle,
Oh
audio
my
battle.
God, they're lowering the steel cage. My God, it's
Get
gonna.
out the steel cage! Yep, I just can't speak. Yep. I meant to say chair and cage at the same time, and it didn't come out that way. So that's a good way to
um,
start a verbal altercation.
um,
Wild stuff.
what are you and your dad cooking tonight?
He's getting some steaks because it's
Oh
like
snap!
105 degrees outside. So he's gonna start barbecuing. Come home from the city from work, and I'm gonna walk over there. We're gonna cook some steaks and play some guitar.
I didn't know you guys barbecued up there. Like, I just picture you're in Long Island. I just picture you guys making pasta every time. You're like, hey, we're making dinner tonight. I'm like, oh, pasta.
Pasta, it's the choice a lot of the times, but we're a household variety over there. We've had like the oh, my stepmom makes this bomb like zucchini type of pasta. It's like this healthy, like the
Oh yeah.
insides of like the zucchini or something like that. It might
Mm-hmm.
not be zucchini, but it's something. But it's really good. But yeah, it's hot over here. It does get hot, so we got a barbecue. We got to whip up some burgers, steaks. I don't do hot dogs. I don't know about you. Hot dogs are kind of not a fan.
I mean, I do veggie dogs, but
Oh yeah, you don't eat meat. I'll do the veggie. I'd rather do the veggie dogs over the hot dogs.
yeah,
Hot
that's
dogs
true.
taste like burps.
Yeah, yeah. You never know what's in a hot dog. They just stuff it full of random shit.
Yeah, but you haven't
Much
really.
like the movie we're talking about today, The Black Phone.
It's not even true.
Oh, it is, baby. It is.
All right, we can get into it.
Um. All right. Well, look, this movie has 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. Mostly overwhelming positive um, reviews from the everybody in the horror community. You know, I mean, I've seen mostly positive stuff, and that's great. I'm stoked that people are having fun with it. I don't get it. I do not get it. I thought it was okay. It's
Now,
fine.
what were the main? And so after you, I know it takes a while to process movies as soon as you
Sure.
walk out of the theater.
Much like a hot dog, takes a while. You gotta.
I don't
Does it?
know. I shit immediately when as soon as the hot dog like hits my mouth. It's over for me. That's it. My bowels are immediately being emptied. But
Yeah.
what didn't you like about this movie? Like on site, like the immediate reaction after you got out of the theater.
Okay. Immediately, well, while watching the movie, I was bored. I was so goddamn bored. Like I don't know, man. Okay. Well, first off, I think the concept of the phone in general. Even when I saw the previews and I was like, oh, there's dead kids talking to this kid, and I'm like, ugh, all right. I was never fully on board with the phone idea, which that's mainly what this movie is about. But they never really explain the phone. Like, why is it there? Where's it coming from? How does this tie into the sister and her visions? And how does that tie into what Finney is seeing? Because obviously there must be some sort of connection there, but nothing ever really gets explained. It's just all these different and with their mother, like the dad was like, "Hey, your mother had visions too, and she killed herself." It's like, okay, expand upon that. How does this all connect? But nothing was really explained. It just felt like a bunch of ideas shoved into this movie that should have been like a short story or an anthology or
Well,
something.
it was. Well, it's based on the book written by Joe Hill, which was a short story. I never read it. I'm not sure what the difference is between the story and the movie because it's a movie, so they have to add stuff into it to flesh out the material and flesh out the story. Who knows what was not in the story? I think I was reading that the sister having visions was not in the story. That was added for the movie.
It felt shoehorned in there. It felt like they needed a B-side to the main. They're like, okay, well, we can't hang out in this basement all the time, so we need something to kind of cut back to. We need a B story.
Yeah, they should have
And
focused on that a little more. I agree with you there. It was an interest. I found it to be interesting that the daughter was having like these visions, and she could. It would have been cool to see her navigate through the dreams a little more. The dynamic between the father and the kids were pretty horrifying. That made me like feel very emotional. I did like that dynamic because he, for a one-dimensional type of thinker, which it seemed like the father was, he couldn't understand the fact that his daughter might have these abilities and that they're actually real and not these like made-up dreams, which was cool when he finally decided to be on his daughter's side. But yeah, I agree that some things weren't explained as much. This is the type of movie that needs a prequel or a sequel, or maybe it could have been not even longer. They could have cut some things where they showed too much of the dead kids talking to or like the daughter being in the dreams a little. In their dreams a little too much. They could have showed a little bit more of Ethan Hawke, who was amazing. I thought he was great. I thought the movie could have used a little bit more Ethan Hawke.
A lot more Ethan Hawke.
Because every time he was on the screen, I was out like he was magnetic. Like he was just a great creep.
For sure.
And I did there's a degree of mystery to the story, which I was like, all right, this is like very creepy, very mysterious. Maybe they're gonna expand on it in another movie, hopefully. But I thought it was fun, even if they don't expand on it. I just thought it was fun. It was a different type of movie where like we hung with the kid inside the basement. You saw that like range of emotion that he was going through, trying to figure out how he's gonna get out of there.
Yeah, I think this would have made a great anthology. Like, imagine if this were like in the Trick or Treat universe. This could have been like one of those side stories where there's this guy and you see the abracadabra van driving around the neighborhood occasionally in the other anthologies, and it ties into this somehow. Yeah. And we spend really the only thing you need from this movie is the grabber, cool name by the way, and like Finney. That's the most interesting stuff. Everything else just felt like, well, how else are we going to stretch out this into a full-length movie? Because we're trying to take this short story and, turn it into a full thing.
You don't think if they just did the Finney and the grabber storyline, it would have been too like one?
Oh yeah, for sure. But you can't take a whole movie and have it nothing but that. But
I did feel at times that they didn't know what they wanted the story on screen to be, because they didn't need the paranormal stuff. They could have just had it be like if they wanted to do just like a straight up like slasher type of movie where it's just like a straightforward story of a kid getting abducted and the dynamic between the two, and we see that unfold on screen. That could have been cool. Even though I did like the paranormal stuff with the daughter. The dead kids, I was just like, I don't think you need it.
Well, there's so much of that in the movie, though. Like, man, there's so many phone calls. Hey, do you have like pet peeves in a movie? Like, oh man, I hate when they do this in a movie. Didn't you say like smartphones in movies or something like that?
Yeah, like social media. Anytime they use like Facebook or like fake Facebook because it's probably copyrighted, so they use like mysquare.com or whatever, some bullshit website. That's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I have one.
The world, it's in modern times.
Yeah, so I have a pet peeve for movies. Whenever there's a phone ringing and it takes a while for the person on screen to answer it, it takes like 3 or...
There was like one ring and I was like, you gonna get that, or like gonna hang up?
And this phone rings so much in this movie. And I'm like, if I hear that goddamn phone ring one more time, I'm gonna lose it.
But the interesting thing was that if the grabber knew it was, if he heard it ringing.
Wasn't there like I might be mistaken here, but didn't Ethan Hawke say like I hear the phone ringing too? At one point? Explain that. Why does he hear the phone too?
But I don't think he said that.
I could have swore that like he mentions the
again.
Yeah, I thought there was a connection with Ethan Hawke, like, oh, I don't know. Like maybe have the phone it somehow connects to the basement across the street, and maybe that's how it's connected. I don't know.
That's kind of cool. It would be cool if, I mean, I thought it was. You didn't think it was a cool twist that he had like 2 houses?
I was like, man, how do you afford 2 houses? This is definitely the 70s.
It's definitely not because he's
that real estate is low, baby.
Yeah, for real. Especially in where the hell they were. Where were they? Ohio or something?
Yes. Filmed in Wilmington, though. Wilmington, North Carolina. Which
everything's filmed in North Carolina.
Yeah. So
you got a little Marvel for that, baby. They got a huge soundstage in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Is Atlanta in North Carolina? No, it's Atlanta, Georgia.
I'm
not good with geography.
The old Atlanta Braves out of North Carolina. No, Wilmington. Yeah, Wilmington is a coastal town. It's a little beach town. I used to live in Wilmington, but maybe we still got to take our trek down there. We'll hit up the Black Phone House, Scream 5.
Hell yeah.
Halloween Kills.
Yeah, actually let's do that so I can piss on the site that it is.
We should go to like a Halloween Kills filming location and have a boxing match. It'll be like great content. We're gonna settle this once and for all.
Not before I take a shit right on wherever it is.
Okay, how about the jump scares in the movie? What do you think about those?
I don't think there were many, but it did get me. I don't think they were predictable, really. When the daughter was riding the bike and the kids like kind of flashed, like they just like popped up, that kind of freaked me out. I like that.
What else has that jump scare been in? It's very similar to. It's a sequel from the early 2000s. This lady is driving, but she drives upon a bunch of dead kids in a row and like runs off the road. Blair Witch 2.
Oh, I didn't see that shit.
The Book of Shadows. I think that kind of has a small cult following. It
probably does. I hate the first Blair Witch. That's one of my movies I absolutely hate. I can't stand it. I commend it for doing great things for the found footage genre, but it is a terrible movie.
I love the Blair Witch.
I hate it.
When did you see it? Did you see it in theaters?
I didn't see it in theaters. I did see it when I was like 11. Like I remember, I watched it on VHS at my friend's house, I believe.
Okay, I don't know. I like the Blair Witch. I was going to ask you.
Talk about fucking vague. That movie, that ending does not pay off at all.
I love the ending.
What the fuck? Like they got to show something. They barely show anything. I understand what they were trying to do, but it was just like not tense.
Hey, maybe he was standing in the corner of this basement.
Could have been
the black phone.
Yeah. It wasn't in the woods though.
They should have turned the Blair Witch into they should have Home Aloned it in the last 10 minutes of the movie like they did in this one. Like, yeah, let's set up some booby traps and
yeah, that was cool. The witch was like Kevin McAllister, and the people in the woods were like infiltrating the house. That'd been rad. Maybe the John Hughes score would have helped that movie.
Yeah.
Play some Journey in the background.
Dude, I'm surprised you don't like Blair Witch. I was actually gonna hit you up and be like, hey man, do you want to do like a retrospective on the Blair Witch and we can talk about how groundbreaking and cool it was?
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to find someone else for that movie.
Damn it. Okay.
we could. I'll talk to you about like how In the Mouth of Madness is one of the most underrated John Carpenter films ever. Blair Witch Project. I had to find someone else.
I thought In the Mouth of Madness was pretty good. I would say the king of underrated Carpenter films is Prince of Darkness.
So good. I agree. I agree with you there too.
I love the dark, sinister tone of that movie. It just feels fucking evil. I love it.
Yeah, and how it's like they have that those group of like brain dead, like kind of almost zombie like people, and that's pretty terrifying. Alice Cooper's one of them.
Yeah, that is true.
And
And
it really
the
goes like it taps into like the science fiction type of aspect of horror in that one.
yeah, I love how like pretty much throughout the entire movie, there's just this pulsing synth playing through the whole thing. Just love it. It's good shit.
And
Prince of Darkness.
anytime you have Donald Pleasance in your movie, I mean, the gravitas.
Yeah, that's
These
true.
are great to see in anything.
Very true. Okay, where were you at on the acting in the Black Phone? Were there any performances where you were like, ooh? There were a couple.
I mean, I liked every character in this movie. I could see where it was a little corny at times. Like the daughter maybe had a couple lines that was like, a little oversold. I thought the dad was great. I thought the daughter was great too.
What lines from the daughter? Did you think the what the fuck Jesus? Did you think that was that got a big?
I thought that was great. I kind of equated it to it kind of reminded me of the daughter in Psycho Gorman, where she's just like a foul mouthed like lunatic.
Yeah.
And that was pretty funny. I thought it was her when the trailer first came out, and I was like, oh shit, they hired Mimi from Psycho Gorman, but it wasn't. I don't know. It didn't really bother me. I liked the movie. I really enjoyed it for what it was. I wasn't taking it too seriously. I thought it was entertaining. Those kids got like really fucked up. Like they got like beat up like real bad.
Oh, by Robin, the bad kid, the cool guy.
Oh yeah, the badass dude who kind of reminded me of like little Argyle from Stranger Things.
Dude, he talk about acting. Oof, man, that kid. He delivered his lines just flat as shit.
But like, okay, I agree with you there, but not to like, I don't know, maybe play devil's advocate or invalidate your feelings. There's so many movies from the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s that we love. Demon Wind, all those like B, C movies. The acting is not that great. Like,
sure, yeah. Yeah.
And I get that they're trying to, like, movies nowadays are trying to hold themselves at a higher standard. So everything should be on point. I didn't find it to be that bad.
He was just very flat. He was like, well, Finney, you're a fighter, so you got to start sticking up for yourself, just like I do for you. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, whoa, can ya throw a little pizzazz on it?
Maybe you could blame it on the writing a little bit.
Yeah.
The actors can only do so much with the material they're given. Sometimes they amp it up. Sometimes it's just impossible. Exhibit Nicolas Cage in a lot of fucking
Hey, man, at least Nick Cage, like, swings for the fences.
Oh, he hams it up.
He is fucking acting. Capital A acting.
The capitalized acting, period.
Dude, Nicolas Cage should have been the grabber in this. I think.
You know what? I would have loved to see that. Ethan Hawke did a great job. Put Nicolas Cage in any role.
Or he should have at least been the cokehead brother.
Yeah, that would have been too on the nose. He played a psychopath.
Or inside the nose. Ooh.
Hey.
Oh. Did any of that feel? Did it feel like kind of forced in there? Like, hey, what should we do in the movie at this point? He's got a cokehead brother.
I don't think it was forced. I think it was rushed. They should have spent a little more time with the brotherly dynamic because it happened too fast. Like they showed it for like a scene, and you're like, "Oh, that was interesting. What happened? Where'd that go?"
Yeah, like okay, there's a brother in the house. And then there was like that weird pan down where he does the cops leave, he does a line of coke,
Yeah. Very
and then
Saw-like.
then it drops down into the ground, and we're in the basement with Finney. So was the cokehead brother in the house where Finney was being kept, or did he live where the dead bodies were being kept? I was kind of a little confused on that.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to differentiate between the houses. Um, from that camera movement, it seemed like he was, but he would obviously know. But I don't know. I'm trying to recall where, because he did go down into the basement, but he would have. I'm trying to remember where Ethan Hawke was when he was like sitting outside the basement, like waiting for him, like naked in the fucking chair.
Right.
Because that's where Finney was.
There's no way that his brother lived in the house with him.
I think
Like,
no. I think he was in the other house.
I mean, if your brother was hanging out in the kitchen with a shirt off, wearing a mask,
You probably have some questions.
you'd be like, "Hey, can you move out of the way? I need to get into the fridge." Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, not sure what avant-garde one-man art show you're doing in the kitchen right now. Homie needs to cook. But yeah, it would probably be in the other house. I would imagine.
Yeah, that brother aspect just felt a little like, what? Did the movie really need this? Like, oh, and how convenient. He's obsessed with solving this case, but then comes a moment later where it's like, my God, it's here.
What have you done? But like, yeah, I mean, they explained it, kind of. They said my brother's dumb as shit, and he's a cokehead, so he's probably not going to figure it out. He was pretty much safe. I did like that the brother like eventually like snapped into it and was like, oh, it's like right here. But weird that he didn't like figure, like he had the X on the map already. He just, I guess, wouldn't believe that it was in one of the houses. I don't know. I wasn't really taking this movie that seriously. I just thought it was a fun time.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that, you enjoyed the movie. Like, the thing I'm struggling with is like I don't know, just the overwhelming like hype of the movie. Like people throwing around the words masterpiece, and
I don't know about
like,
masterpiece. I mean, I really liked it. I would
heard
watch
that
it
a
again.
lot.
Yeah, I mean, people can think whatever they want. I'm
Yeah,
glad that people liked it that much where they're like, Beethoven, Bach, Black Phone, perfect, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I know someone that like saw it like twice in the movie theater and all that stuff. It's definitely one of the better modern horror movies. I'll take this over a lot of stuff. What did you like this better than Scream?
Ooh. No.
Still pick Scream over, even though you have a very big hatred of whatever her name is.
Oh, Mia Barrera or whatever her name was.
Melissa Barrera.
Oh, Melissa Barrera. Yeah. Look, with Scream, at least it was entertaining, and dude, there were times in this movie where I'm like, I am so bored. Like, what do I want for lunch tomorrow? Like, do I need to run to the grocery store after this? I mean,
but they had to like build, like Hereditary is a slow burn too. Not to compare it to Hereditary, but you got to build up the characters. You got to build up the story. You can't just have like murder, 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 murder. You could.
Oh, for sure.
All right.
Oh, I love a good slow burn, but this was just like once you're in that basement and the phone rings and Finney's talking to this person, hey, dig under the tile, and then something with the daughter, cut back to Finney, phone rings again. And it just, I was like, good God, I am bored to tears right now. Like, I don't get where people were saying like, man, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. And it's like, how small was your seat? Because I was very comfortable. I was reclined back. I was chilling.
They must have been sitting on like a bar stool or something.
Yeah, like the kiddie table.
I saw it with Holly, and a half hour in,
She was not a fan.
what? No, she did not like it. She leaned over to me about a half hour in. She was like, "This movie sucks." She's right there with you, and I was like,
"Amen, Holly."
Like, nothing happened enough for me to actually form an opinion. I was like, I don't know how I feel yet.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah, well,
I was rooting for the characters in the movie. I was having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I was rooting for it to get better. Like, give me more Ethan Hawke. Like, or do you think they should have expanded into Ethan Hawke's character a little more? I know sometimes less is better, but in this case, I'm like, who is the grabber? Why? Like, explain the mask. Like, tell me something.
Yeah, there needed to be a little more about the grabber, and a lot more. And you know what's funny with a lot of these iconic horror movies like Nightmare on Elm Street, Hellraiser, Michael Myers. If you think about it, those iconic characters don't get a lot of screen time. Not really, which is kind of weird to think about because they're so epic and beloved. But like in the separate movies, in each individual movie, they're not on screen a whole lot.
Yeah,
even though the main reason that the protagonist is fighting against. But definitely, I think the grabber should have been used a lot more. His backstory, I would have liked to know a lot more about him, because what I do like about it is that this movie is not a remake. They brought us potentially a new iconic horror character because the mask is great, the story is great. Hopefully, they go into a potential backstory down the line if they further the franchise a little bit. But
do you think they will?
I hope so. I really do, because like you don't want to waste Ethan Hawke as this like great new iconic horror icon. I think it could potentially be something really great, something memorable, rather than just another retread of let's do a Craft remake, let's do Friday the 13th remake, let's revitalize Halloween and just murder Michael Myers.
Hey man, I would kill for Friday the 13th. Like, hey, new movie coming down the line. I'd be like, fuck yeah, finally.
Isn't there something with the rights that they like?
Sean Cunningham and Victor Miller were in this, or are in this legal dispute. Sean Cunningham created the series and hired Victor Miller to write the story of Jason. So they're like, well, I own the rights to it. No, I do. And it's just been this drawn out shit show. I don't know if it's still going on, but at this point, I want to see Jason Voorhees back on the big screen.
It's been more than 10 years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Last one was 2009, and that was Platinum Dunes should stop dabbling in horror. They should not do it. Michael Bay should not have a hand in it. His company should not have a hand in it.
You don't like any Platinum Dunes stuff?
What else did they come out with? I know
Texas Chainsaw remake.
Those were okay. I did like the Jessica Biel ones. They were fun. I didn't take it that seriously, but they were fun. I enjoyed them. Nightmare on Elm Street remake was fucking horrid.
Oh, for sure. They did the Amityville horror remake, which I kind of have a soft spot for. Yeah. I mean,
you and Holly are exactly the same. She likes it. I don't know if it's just because Ryan Reynolds, but that movie sucks dick. And I
mean, it's pretty bad, like upon rewatch, but it hits a nostalgic spot for me for some reason. I don't know.
When I first watched it, it had a lot of potential. I don't remember liking it on first watch, but I rewatched it like over the pandemic, and I was like, wow, this was not scary.
Yeah.
The first one was so like.
I like it better than Black Phone.
Better than what?
Than the Black Phone. If you were like, hey, what do you want to watch right now? Amityville horror remake or the Black Phone? I'd say, give me Ryan Reynolds, dog.
I would watch
Fired up.
Phone. I would watch. Wow. Okay. Wow. Fuck Platinum Dunes. They did Amityville Horror, Texas Chainsaw, The Hitcher, which is terrible.
I never saw it.
Don't watch it. Watch the original. The Purge, the first Purge I liked. Second Purge I liked too. They did the new TMNT movies. They did the Ouija movies. The Quiet Places, which is really weird.
Isn't Ethan Hawke in the Purge movies? I never got on board.
Purge.
He's not in any of the sequels?
They're all kind of different.
Yeah.
I watched the first Purge. I watched Purge Anarchy and maybe another one.
I've never seen any of them.
The first one's
any good?
The first one's good with Ethan Hawke. The second one was good. They're just kind of they're just okay. Like they're
not really horror movies.
No, and that's what I wanted to say before. Horror movies are forgetting to be scary.
Yeah.
Like I want to be terrified. It's too. I will say the Black Phone was a little bit too sanitized. They could have went more creepy. They could have went more horror driven, and it just not. I feel like horror movies forget to be scary. They're very action heavy and very. I feel like you really can't go too much on the drama because like Hereditary was just like it was a drama, but like completely like horror. It was set in horror, like horror came first. Like the root of the story is set in horror. Black Phone, it's just like it was a horror movie, but like it was a little more drama too, which I liked. It really wasn't very action heavy, which I feel that's why I liked it a lot more than the other modern horror movies. But like the new Conjuring movies were just like action, action, action. Like Halloween, Halloween Kills, the new Halloween, just straight up, just action. Give me the horror. Like I don't want to see Jamie Lee Curtis act like fucking John McClane. Like I'm waiting for her to say "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker," and blow Michael Myers' head off. Like I don't want that.
Settle down, Doug. We're not going there. We're not going there today. Okay, we will, but
name like some other modern horror movies. That's like not a remake.
Oh, that's like actually good.
Or just any that came out.
Dude, I rewatched It Follows the other night, and I was like, this movie is so fucking good. I don't know, it creeped me out, man. I haven't been creeped out by a movie in quite a while. I was house sitting, and the neighborhood reminded me of the neighborhood in It Follows, so that's what made me want to watch it. And I was there at this new house by myself in the dark, and I was like, I'm kind of getting a little creeped out right now. But that was a totally original story, you know.
I was not a fan of that movie, like at all.
Oh man, I love it.
I need to rewatch it. I only watched it once, but it kind of left me feeling empty afterwards. Like I just had no emotion towards it. I had no connection to any of the characters, the story, the subliminal messaging about like contracting sexual diseases. I didn't catch it. So I need to rewatch it. I did a double feature.
Dude, are you eating Reese's? You're going to spoil your dinner, man. Your dad's going to be pissed.
Oh, believe me, I'm going to be starving. I had one and coffee. I had hot coffee at 1 p.m. And I shit my brains out. So I'm going to be hungry. The palate is cleansed.
Hey, nothing cleanses the palate like a Reese's.
I have a fridge stock full of them, baby.
Oh, you keep them in the fridge?
During the summer because they melt in the cabinet.
Oh, okay.
But this is what you do in the summer. Put the Reese's in the fridge, take it out, let it thaw out for about 15 minutes so it's not just like rock hard. Yeah. And then you eat them. Then they're the perfect temperature.
Ooh, all right.
I know my stuff.
Pro tip.
Any Reese's related questions? Let me know down in the comments.
Okay, I want to talk about like the ending of this movie, where it kind of turns into Home Alone, basically, like with Finney setting the traps, and the grabber goes downstairs, or the cokehead brother goes downstairs. He's like, oh my god, and then the grabber kills him. That That was some much needed gore, I thought.
I
Axe to the head.
definitely saw it coming. As soon as he finds
Yeah.
the basement, you're like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
he's dead.
Of course. Yeah. I mean,
But yeah, it was. Damn, that's CGI blood, man. I just don't know why they just don't use
ooh, yeah.
practical effects.
Oh, wait, but before that, the one part in this movie that I literally laughed out loud at. Okay. After Finney is talking to the dead kid Robin on the phone, he's like, "Hey, pack the phone full of dirt so it packs a punch." And he's giving him instructional directions like he's fucking Billy Blanks and Tybo. He's like, "All right, lean forward, step back, swing the phone, do it again, lean forward, step back." And they do this for like, this goes on for like a minute. And I'm like, are you fucking serious right now? Or am I watching this?
Yeah, they were doing the Karate Kid or like the
Yeah.
movie too with Shorty and Anna Faris, like kick, punch, son. Son.
Yeah, it was like
that was a little cheesy.
It was like some Mr. Miyagi shit. Like, oh, Daniel-san, you must swing the phone. And
this was a horror movie, I believe, directed towards a little like a.
oh wait, real quick. No, it was like dodgeball. It was like dive, duck, dodge, and dip.
What are the 5 Ds and
Patches O'Houlihan.
Yeah, throw a fucking wrench at Finney. I seen better runs in my shorts.
So yeah, dude. By that point in the movie, I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is so bad.
That part was a little cheesy, but I still didn't mind it because there's a lot of movies that I love that have those cheesy moments, and I'm like, you know what, this gets a pass. Like, it's better than a lot of stuff. I know we talked about the standard being very low, but I would rewatch this movie. I would rewatch this movie if it was on TV, if it came on streaming. I'd watch it. I think it's fun.
I would if I stumbled across this movie and I was too lazy to reach for the remote, I'd be like, all right, I'll watch this for a little bit. I guess we'll see if I feel any different. Yeah, I don't know. Another thing about the ending, the like the rocket pen thing, that never really paid off.
I was wondering why he just didn't stab him with the pen the whole entire time.
I was like, okay, this pen is gonna come into play at some point. He keeps looking at this pen. He's gonna jam it in his neck or something at some point. That never happens. When he's talking to Robin, he's like, you do have a weapon, Finney. You've had it the whole time. Dun da da da, rocket pen. He's like, no, the phone.
Yeah.
Stuff it full of dirt and let me give you instructions on how to.
But there's a whole lot of subliminal messaging going on, I feel like, with this movie. Like, I feel like the pen represented like Finney's future because he obviously is into space and maybe being an astronaut, kind of a peek into like what he wants to do for a career. So that kind of represented like hope. And then the phone represents like, I don't know, a traumatic, like your traumatic experience. I was reading some stuff afterwards, like why the grabber like kept the phone and like he's guilty about murdering and he doesn't want to like fully take accountability for the murder, so like he doesn't hear the phone ring, but the phone is actually the dead kids calling him to like reconcile with
talk some shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was just ignoring the phone calls, but at the end, Finney put the phone to his ear.
No, you're telling me that wasn't cheesy as fuck.
I'm not saying the movie was cheesy.
Come on, dog. Come on. It's me. You can tell me. Wait, he was like, wait, it's me, baby. All right, like, oh fuck, how did that part go? Okay,
I kind of fucked with it though.
All right, so Finney, the grabber falls in this hole that Finney has dug out and covered with a blanket, and he's on the phone, and the kids are just like talking shit on the phone. They're like, "Yeah, motherfucker, how you like that?"
But they're saying all the stuff that they said to Finney.
Yeah,
because I don't know. I was thinking at some point that maybe the calls were actually supposed to be for the grabber, But that kind of would make sense because they said Finney's like name and shit.
Yeah, and he puts the phone up to his ear and he's like, Finney's arm is mint. And then oh wow, my light just turned on for no reason.
I saw
that. it's the goddamn dead kids trying to communicate with me.
It's the grabber.
And then he does he break his neck? He wrapped a phone cord around his neck, right?
Yeah, you heard it snap. You heard his neck snap.
That wouldn't break a grown man's neck. This fucking kid tugging on a phone cord.
There's a little bit of suspension of disbelief there.
Hey, maybe
in reality, probably not. In this universe, potential.
Hey, if the grabber comes back after that in the sequel, I'd be like, okay, well, I totally bought that because there's no fucking way they broke his neck.
Also, can we just acknowledge how dumb cops are in every single movie ever?
Yeah, these cops were pretty bad.
Why are they so dumb? Like, all clear without checking any upstairs rooms or basements or anything like that. They're just like, coast is clear. I see nothing. Within a 2-inch radius. It must be good.
Yeah.
They're all dumb.
Or how about when
real life, if you think about it.
When the cops
they're playing it up.
When the cops first get to the house across the street and they go down into the basement, and then the one cop says, "This is where he buries the bodies. There must be another place where he kills them." It's like, oh, so you just knew that? Okay.
Sherlock Holmes.
I'm pretty sure if you found a basement full of dead bodies, I'd be like, well, this is the murder house. This is where it goes down. But he's like, no, I got a feeling that he does it somewhere else. Like, oh, that's good.
All of a sudden he grows brains and he just starts figuring all this stuff out on a whim. That police force has some real stars on their force.
And by the way, nobody thought to, what was that?
No, I'm just an idiot. I was like, the police force has a good star on their force. I said force twice.
Oh, okay. I saw you mouth something. I was like, oh.
Actually being a fucking idiot.
Oh, you're good. Okay. Nobody thought to question the abracadabra guy driving around town in an all-black van. I mean, come on.
Apparently not. He moves in silence.
They're like, there's black balloons found at the crime scene. How'd you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody was like, hey, should we stop this black van with the words abracadabra on the side of it? Should we talk to him with the pale, gangly looking man driving around town?
They did, when he kidnapped Finney, he was pretty out in the open.
Oh, yeah.
Like, very much out in the open. I was like, yeah, you use the balloons to cover it up, but like, people would have probably heard a struggle. They would have saw feet dangling underneath the balloons. They're just balloons. Then you got strings.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of strings. I mean, there's a lot of holes in this movie, but I was just like, fuck it. Who cares?
This wasn't Killer Clowns from Outer Space. He didn't capture them in a giant balloon and tie them to the back of his van and drive home, which that would have been cooler.
That would have been a good crossover movie.
Yeah.
Grabber finds like the circus tent in the woods. That would have been cool.
The dang circus came to town, Pooh Bear.
I love that dude. Pooh Bear?
Yeah. Oh, great movie. Top five all time.
Me and Holly tried to figure out a top 20 horror movie, like top 20 of our personal favorites. It was just as hard as figuring out a top 5. Good luck, because you're going to forget a lot of fucking movies.
Yeah. Hey, for an episode idea, I was thinking, what if we each write down our top 10 of the last 10 years?
Oh, that makes it easier.
Yeah, you gotta set a time frame. You can't be like of all time.
Top 20. I mean, sorry, top 10 from 2012 to 2022.
What's your top 3? Go.
Top 3?
Yeah.
The Strangers has to be up there. Wait, no, fuck, that's 2008. Shit. What movies came out from 20?
Damn, you like The Strangers that much?
I love The Strangers. Easily one of my favorites.
All right.
That movie left me like riddled with fear after seeing that in the theater. You didn't like it that much?
I thought it was good. I probably feel the same way you do about like It Follows. You know, it's like that was good, but
people feel that way. People love Sinister, man. People love Sinister.
Well, same director, Scott Derrickson. Ethan Hawke is in it.
I mean, I love Scott Derrickson. That movie just bored me. That movie bored me to tears. I was like, what's going on here? Like, nothing's happening.
I saw it once and had some creepy moments, but I don't remember much about it. He also directed Doctor Strange. So
he did. One of my favorite Marvel movies, top 5.
Swing and a miss.
2 misses for Scott Derrickson. He was supposed to direct the new one, but creative differences happened.
Oh, the
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Obviously, you would know that because you're.
Of course. I mean, the multiverse of Wizard Marvel Man. I know that movie. What are you talking about?
Crash of dumpsters, whatever.
With the one with the Benadryl cucumber.
Benedict Cumberbund.
Oh, and he also directed The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Also, one of my fucking favorites. Couldn't include that in my no, it's 2005. I really wanted to include that in my top 20, but didn't make the cut. The first Conjuring I will put there, top 3 easily. We're going 2012 to 2022. That came out in 2013.
Hey, that's next episode.
You said top 3.
Oh no, okay, top 3. Oh, I just meant like of all time. Top 3 all time.
All time ever?
Yeah.
I thought you said not ever.
Oh, no.
Okay. I thought you said from 20. Oh, ever? All right. Well, fuck.
Everybody's got those fired up. I mean, I know I do.
Rosemary's Baby. I think that's my number 1. I just love that movie so much. It's so creepy and dreadful, and it's just that movie fucked me up. Every time I see it, I like learn something new about it. Fuck, man, top 3. Like, I feel like you have to, because like the top 3 is like the ones that you really hold near and dear to your heart, that are like almost nostalgic for you.
I would say The Lost Boys. The Lost Boys is up there for me.
I don't love that movie like everyone else does. Like, I like it.
I love the universe it creates. There's like just a vibe you get from that movie.
Yeah, they definitely, and they're thinking about remaking.
Of course they are.
They're thinking about rebooting.
Yeah, I did. And you know what? Hey, why not? It could be good. And guess what? They're not going to take away the original. I still got it. Still like, going to love the original.
Just like don't though. Like just why?
Yeah, I know. I hear you. But at the same time, it's like, all right, fuck it. Why not?
Turn like, you know, potential fans of horror onto the old one. Let them see the classics. Give that a lot of love rather than just like do a new take. Like the pretentiousness of David Gordon Green to say that
God,
I got Ellen Burstyn out of retirement for The Exorcist. I can get Robert Englund to do another Nightmare movie. Like, no, just stop. Just stop being pretentious. No,
well,
even if you could, don't do it.
I don't think David Gordon Green said that, did he?
Pretty sure, yeah, because he's rebooting The Exorcist.
No, I thought Blumhouse said that. Jason Blum.
It's not David Gordon Green, you sure? Either one, look at both. But
hey man, I love David Gordon Green and that whole crew he runs with at Rough House Pictures. Danny McBride, Jody Hill. I mean, they created Eastbound and Down, Vice Principals, Righteous Gemstones.
I love them for that.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of that crew of
Daniel Lane.
I guess there's a case to be made that like maybe their style of filmmaking doesn't translate quite well to horror at times.
You don't think so? Big John, Little John?
Hey man, I don't mind that part of Halloween Kills. I thought they were fucking hilarious. And by the way, Big John was the villain in Righteous Gemstones season 1. He was like the guy in the devil mask.
Oh, I didn't see Righteous Gemstones.
Oh, dude, it's so good. I think that's their best show out of all those.
You think so? My sister loves it, and she like hates like watching TV. And she texts me a bunch of times. She's like, "You need to watch The Righteous Gemstones."
Yeah, I think everybody should. I just the house I was staying at had HBO Max. I watched everything I could and watched season 2 of Righteous Gemstones, and I even rewatched the first season because it had been like a few years since I saw it. And amazing shit.
I love Danny McBride, and I like Jody Hill. I think they're awesome writers for what they do. I just think they bit off a little more than they could chew with the Halloween franchise, and the way they go about it, it just seems like, again, this is just from what I see, it just seems like they take it a little too seriously, and they're a little bit too pretentious with how they go about reframing this entire franchise, and not, just making hollow entries in a movie and deleting years of lore of Michael Myers and creating a new hollow one. Sorry,
No, you're good.
my dad's
Yeah,
calling me, so the screen
man,
disappeared.
the gloves are coming off today, man. You're fired up.
I got to defend myself against the black phone here.
No, it's okay. Hey, look, man, I'm seriously glad that so many people love the Black Phone. I think it's a win for horror movies. It's for some reason even the critics are like going crazy over this movie, and I'm like, I don't get it, but okay, whatever. Like,
at least it's an original. It's based on a short story. I don't know where you went.
Sure.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's based on a short story. It's not a remake. It's not a reboot.
Yeah,
that has to be something for the horror genre. Just an all-around fun movie. I think Ethan Hawke was great in it. There were good performances. It was a fun story. Does it make a whole lot of sense? It doesn't make as much sense as the fucking, mob and Halloween Kills. It doesn't make.
Oh, God, let it go. Oh my God,
I'm thinking of modern movies.
Jesus Christ.
But even like the new Scream had some moments where you were like, I don't know. Like the chick coming back to life and like after being burnt like very badly.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't know, but fuck it. Let it happen.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm glad people are stoked on the movie. I just thought it was okay. I'd give it like a 5 out of 10.
It was nice to not see another art house type of horror movie where you have to read like think piece after think piece after it, because Crimes of the Future, I was like, wow, unimpressed. Men, I was like, wow, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So like this was more straightforward. This was very fun. It was a good palate cleanser. It was original, even though it was adapted from a story, but never seen on screen before. It seemed almost like it was in like the Stephen King universe. That was fun.
Well, I mean, it was written by Joe Hill, who was, of course, Stephen King's son.
Exactly. So he's got some influence from his daddy. It was just a fun time.
Yeah. I still say this would have made a great anthology. Like, if there were like a new Creepshow movie or something.
Let's do what do you think about the Creepshow TV series?
I watched maybe like the first 4 of the first season, and I haven't watched any of the other ones.
Yeah,
you like it?
Stop. No,
really?
Stop doing it.
I mean, some of them got pretty bad. Some of them I was like, oh, that's okay, and then some were like, oof.
I just think the long form storytelling with those like anthology stories like that, like just like the new Twilight Zone. What makes the Twilight Zone so great is that they're short, sweet, to the point. You get to the creepiness and like the alternate dimension stuff like super quick, and it has a quick resolution, and it's interesting all the way through. You make those types of stories like hour long, it just doesn't translate. You have a lot of filler. There was so much filler in there, and you're like, all right, like it doesn't need to be a full movie. Like for those types of like, it's like again, if you're adapting a short story, easier to make it, make them like the Creepshow 2, like The Raft and The Hitchhiker and Old Chief Woodenhead. Like those are so great, and they're fun and they're interesting, and it's just the pacing is on point.
That's just kind of how I feel about Black Phone. I think it would have made a great 30-minute short story. Cut out the rest.
I don't disagree with you there, even though I did enjoy it. And it wasn't even that long of a movie either. It was pretty short.
I don't know. I think it was like an hour 40 or something.
It's pretty short.
But real quick, I know you got to run soon. I want to talk about real quick the dad's performance in this movie.
I thought he was amazing. I thought he was incredible.
What is with that voice and delivery, though? He's like, yeah, you don't want to be talking about your mother like that. It's like, what? Who the fuck chose that as like? They're like, yeah, can you just like drool your fucking words? Like, I get you're an alcoholic, but he's like, I don't be talking that way about. He reminded me like if this were like an origin story of the popsicles guy from Family Guy. He's like, I got some popsicles in my basement. This is like.
I don't watch Family Guy, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, I don't really watch it a whole lot either, but I do know that one character. And I was like, I kept saying to myself, I got some popsicles down in my basement. He tries to lure kids down to his basement with popsicles. That's his whole thing. He's like
if
a creepy old
any
man.
guy was going to be the Grabber's accomplice, he seemed very much like Grabber 2.0.
Yeah.
But he was good. I mean, he was just like, alcoholic. He was just like a redneck type of dad. He did sound a little grovelly, like,
yeah, like, God, did he drink lava for breakfast or something?
He just had like wet soil in his mouth the entire time. But he was good. I think he sold the part well. I thought everyone sold it pretty solid.
Yeah, the little girl, especially the stuff with her dad, and she's like screaming at him. And he's threatening to hit her with the belt. I mean, that was pretty raw and real.
Yeah, it was rough to watch. I was kind of like, ooh, uncomfortable watching that.
Yeah. I think the little girl was the star of the movie. I think she did the best out of everybody.
Yeah, she
was. Yeah, and could have done more.
Even like it could have been. I almost kind of wish it was reverse.
Yeah,
and the girl got kidnapped because she was emoting a whole lot more.
Yeah, Finney is a little wooden as well. He's just kind of.
You know what this movie gave me? It gave me Gate vibes for some reason.
What vibes?
Gate, like the movie The Gate.
Oh no, dude, The Gate is so much better. How do you
like the tone? I don't know why. I don't know why. The kid kind of looks like the kid with the glasses.
Oh, okay, I can kind of see that, but holy shit, The Gate rules.
I actually prefer The Gate 2 over Gate 1. Actually,
controversy.
Hot take. It's just when he's like melting inside the diner, I'm like, ooh, that's really grotesque. I love it.
Yeah.
And they go to like that other realm and stuff like that. Like that was super rad.
Yeah, I mean, both great movies.
Solid movies. Ghoulies 1 or 2.
Yeah. Oh shit! They're showing Ghoulies 2 at VHS Fest next weekend.
Son of a bitch.
Dude, are you going?
I think I am.
That doesn't sound confident. We're gonna talk about this later.
Yeah, we'll text it. Yes, I want to say yes for the Saturday.
Okay, well, hey man, I'm gonna be camping out there. I'm camping Friday and Saturday because
you were in the hotel.
I was, but dude, I looked at the prices and I was like, look, I love to camp. I have plenty of camping gear. I got tents. I got lights. I got everything.
You're from down south.
Yeah, that's how we do, baby. You ever been camping?
Those dirt naps. No, I'm a prissy little boy. I like sleeping on pillow and sheets and comforters.
Well, I wouldn't really call this camping. It's sleeping in a tent in a field. So it's
surrounded by other people who are very noisy and probably going to be partying all night. Not my vibe.
And I'm going to be one of them. Come stay in my tent, bro. I got a 6-person tent. Like we can stand up in the tent. And we'll fight it out over Halloween Kills and Malignant.
All right, we're gonna be yelling about that. Holly texted me yesterday saying we need to get our tickets, so we just gotta do that, and then I think we're good.
Well, I will be heartbroken if you don't make it, my friend. But
yeah, I wish I would have planned for this a little more. But I'll tell you one of the reasons why I can't possibly go. It's work related, but I'm not going to say it on here.
Is there a Beach Boys tribute band in town or something?
There's a Queen tribute band playing, actually.
Oh, man, the boomers are going to scorch their fucking cargo shorts for that one.
Oh hell, they're all gonna wear fake mustaches and everything. It's gonna be wonderful.
Oh man.
But
So-
I really want to go for the one day. So we're definitely gonna
Yeah.
try to make it Saturday.
Okay. We'll talk about it though. But yeah, hope you can make it. VHS Fest. Well, for anybody else listening, come to VHS Fest in Pennsylvania this weekend. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, go and see Phil and tell him the Halloween Kills is atrocious.
Don't do that, but you can come say what's up and be like, you know what, Phil, I agree with your opinion.
And say fuck me for having terrible opinions.
No, of course not. Hey man, I pick apart Halloween Kills as well. I don't think it's perfect, but can we just do let's just do God damn.
Every episode we do can be about Halloween Kills. I don't care.
Man, you were really going for it on this one. You were like, oh, I hate that
Not more than any other one.
And for the record, I have not mentioned a certain other movie once on this episode, and I'm not going to say the name of it, but you all know the one. And boy, the Black Phone makes that look like a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah, so. I rewatched Halloween 2018, so I think it's time you rewatch that movie.
2018?
Yes.
I rewatched it like.
No, what?
Oh, the movie that shall not be named.
Act like you don't have Down syndrome.
The movie that's like growing out of the back of my head. Yeah, that one.
That's the one.
That fucking turd.
You gotta rewatch it. Guarantee you.
Oh fuck! It was on HBO Max.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's free.
I was like, I can't bring myself to do it.
You know what I did for Halloween 2018? I found like I went on projectfreetv.com.
Oh shit! What is that?
Some like movie website you can watch things for free. I didn't feel like $3.99 for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I fell asleep watching it. It was just boring.
All right.
But I rewatched it.
But you fell asleep. So so there you go.
So you need to rewatch Malignant. I tried. I gave it a chance.
All right. Well, I'm guessing you got a run over to your dad's. What's your dad's name?
Rob
Galliotto. What's that?
Roberto Francis Galliotto.
Holy shit, Roberto Francis Galliotto.
Not really Roberto, but you call him Roberto.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to shake your dad's hand and like give him a trophy for putting up with your shit.
He definitely deserves a couple of those.
Oh shit.
Occasionally he just looks over at me and he just goes like, "Why are you talking?" So.
You ever talk to your dad about horror movies?
Yeah, all the time. He just doesn't listen.
Like, what's I don't know. What's his jam? Does he have anything, or does he just not give a shit?
He's
like, I'll tell you what a scary movie is. Dutch.
Yeah, he saw The Exorcist in 1973 or whatever, and that was the last one like he ever watched. But he's not a big movie person. He's like more like sports. He loves like me and him bond over like music and stuff like that mostly.
That's cool.
But he's like a big sports dude. Like he just like will scream at like any type of sporting event and scare the fuck out of you because he thinks he's the coach and he's fucking his hands get like blisters on it because he's weird stuff.
Sounds like a cool dude. We'll get him on the podcast sometime.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd love it. He'd be so lost with everything we're talking about.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer, so I guess we'll wrap this baby up. The Black Phone. Check it out if you haven't.
Yes, join the discussion in the comments.
Yeah, please do. And like and subscribe.
Gucci.
Leave 5 stars. If you love the movie, hey, I'm just talking shit. I'm really glad you loved it.
Talking shit.
We're just talking shit. We're just a couple of guys talking shit.
You know, if you want to see a couple of guys just shooting the shit and saying whatever, doing whatever, you come here.
Hey, you come here, all right?
You come to us. You come
to us
goods.
We'll review Freddy Got Fingered next time. How about that? We keep talking about that.
Gord. Come over here and fuck me. Come on, Gord. Come and fuck me.
Yeah, that is a cinematic masterpiece, dude.
Ironically, that we brought up Rip Torn in 2 separate movies today. Freddy Got Fingered and Dodgeball.
Holy shit! Look at that. R.I.P. Rip Torn.
Rip Torn was the best.
R.I.P. Rip.
Dead, Men in Black.
Yeah.
We're not hosting intergalactic kegger.
Yeah, that is an icon. All right. Well, Doug, thanks for joining. Have a lovely dinner, everybody.
Hanging.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you